So there is a version of personal finance advice that sounds completely reasonable until you realize that it was built without women in mind. Save more, invest early, earn more. These are all great pieces of financial advice and they all sound completely reasonable. They're all also very important, but all of these don't account for the financial realities that many women face. And these are the gaps, the expectations, the invisible workload, and the systemic barriers. So today I want to have a real conversation, not just about what to do, but what the full picture looks like of building wealth as a woman in today's world. Hey, my name is Bola Shokumbi. I'm the founder and CEO of Clever Girl Finance. I'm also the six-time best-selling author of the Clever Girl Finance book series, including my new book, Clever Girl Millionaire. So let's talk about 8 things nobody tells you about building wealth as a woman and why it matters and what to do differently. Number one, the wage gap is real. We all know this, but it compounds over a lifetime. So I'm going to share a personal story. At my very first job in New York City, I was earning $54,000 before taxes. And a few months into my job at a lunch meeting, I quickly realized that I was the lowest paid person on my team, working with my peers who had the exact same qualifications and work experience as I did. And like I mentioned, it's not because I was the least qualified, but it was because I accepted the very first job offer that was given to me. I was happy to have it and I did not negotiate. And that one decision of not negotiating, that one moment in time set the foundation for everything else that came afterwards at that job. My raises, my bonuses, the percentage of my retirement contributions were all tied to that base salary that I didn't negotiate, while my peers earned more and got higher raises, higher bonuses, higher retirement contributions that were based on a percentage of their own salaries. I learned that lesson the hard way. So women still earn less than men on average for the same work. And that gap is even wider for women of color. And it's not just about each individual paycheck, it's about the fact that this compounds over decades. That means lower Social Security benefits, lower retirement portfolio balances, and significantly smaller amounts of wealth being built based on this foundation of that wage gap. And so, this is why negotiating your salary is not optional, it is necessary, it is essential. Every dollar that you don't negotiate for is a dollar less, is a dollar that is not working for in your retirement account for the next 20, 30, or 40 years. And being underestimated or not taken seriously in those conversations is real. I know this because I have experienced it, but you still have to ask and you have to stand your ground, show your competency and why you are worth this increase in your salary, whether it's getting the job, negotiating a raise, or negotiating a bonus, you must ask. You prepare, you know your worth, and then you make your ask. And if you are told no, you put a reminder on your calendar and you revisit the conversation in a few months while you actively look for work that's going to pay you more if you need to. Number two, women are more likely to take career breaks and it costs them significantly financially. So when it comes to caregiving for children, for aging parents, for family members, statistics show that primarily caregivers are women. And many times, especially when it comes to having kids, building a family, growing a family, it means career breaks for women. That means pauses in income. It also means pauses in retirement contributions. And in turn, pauses in overall wealth building. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't take breaks if you need to. I took unpaid time off from work because my company did not have a maternity leave plan at the time, in order to have my twins, a high risk pregnancy, and I was on bed rest for 5 months, right? So if you need to take the time off, you have to take the time off from work. But if you're able to, you want to do your best to plan for it ahead of time. This means building an emergency fund, having one in place before a career break if possible. It also means that if you're able to keep contributing to your retirement savings like an IRA, traditional or Roth IRA, during that break if possible as well. Understand what the long term financial implications of taking that break are going to be and plan accordingly. It might mean that, okay, you're taking time off to have kids, to care for aging parents, but maybe you will need to work part time as well so you can keep your wealth building going if it can fit into your schedule and it aligns with you having enough support during that time. It's all about understanding the financial implications, like I said, and then making those decisions with our eyes wide open. Number three, women live longer statistically, and that changes everything financially because we need more money. So, on average, women live longer than men for many years, and that means that your money for your future self, your retirement savings, also needs to last longer. Your healthcare needs will also need to last longer, and that means they're going to cost you more money. And for women, the average retirement calculator is not factoring in the additional years of life that we live on average. So, what does this mean? It means that you want to plan for a longer retirement than you think you will need. And that's great because you're planning to live a long life, right? Living a long life is a blessing, but it requires a financial plan. So, make sure that you're investing consistently, you're putting money aside for your future self, and you're checking in on your portfolio. And if necessary, talking to a financial planner or advisor for guidance if you need it. Number four, as a woman, it is possible that you are the financial caretaker of your entire family. Many women quietly carry the entire financial burden of their households as sole household earners or single household earners, and they're taking care of children, aging parents, and extended family. This was my mom, for example. Especially after my dad had to retire early due to health issues, my mom was the primary breadwinner and the sole household earner. If you come from an immigrant family, it's very likely that as a woman, you're sending money home, you're taking care of other people's emergencies and sending money when life happens to family members. You're likely the person everybody calls as a sole income earner or household earner or breadwinner when a crisis happens. It all falls on you. And being generous is a beautiful thing, but you need to have a strategy in place. You need to have a plan in place, and you need to have boundaries set so that you can also keep yourself in mind. Having those boundaries in place is not about abandoning your family. It's making sure that you also have a plan for your own finances, being able to pay your current bills, meet your own financial obligations, and also save for your future self because this is so, so important. So, Clever Girl Millionaire was written specifically for women navigating these exact realities with a roadmap for building real wealth on your own terms. This is why I wrote this book. So, I'd love for you to grab your copy wherever books are sold and then visit clevergirlfinance.com for our 30 plus free courses built specifically for women like you. Number five, for women, building wealth while being everything to everybody is exhausting, and people don't often talk about this. So, when I was building Clever Girl Finance, I was a wife and a mother. I am still a wife and a mother, and I still have this business in addition to all the other things that I do. And there's this version of wealth building advice that tells you to focus and hustle and grind and be intentional and do all these things like it is just you alone. But for women like us, it doesn't often apply because for us, life is happening simultaneously, right? There are people who depend on us, there are obligations. We're taking breaks to have children, to be caregivers, we're managing households, we're being moms, and as by default of being a mom, you're also a cleaner and a driver and a teacher and all these other things to your children. And then if you have a partner, you're also being that person to your partner. There are many things involved in your life beyond just focus and build wealth. And that mental load of working, managing your finances, taking care of children, taking care of your household is real. And all those things fall primarily on women more often than not. So it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. I have built a successful business as a mom, as a wife, and as all the other things. It just means that you have to have a strategy to not just only protect your mental health, but also protect your time and make time for yourself to be able to accomplish the things that you want to do for yourself while being all those other things to other people. It doesn't make you selfish, it makes you intentional. And if that means building systems and taking on support where you can, then do it. If a friend wants to help watch your kids, if you can ask a friend or a family member you trust to watch your kids or to help you do things around the house or to help you run errands or to just make life easier for you so you can take a nap, then take the help that is being offered to you. Number six, The truth is that financial advice has been historically written for men. What does this mean? These are our aggressive investing strategies, assumptions that you can work 40 years straight with no breaks, risk profiles that don't account for volatility, especially when you're taking a career break to raise your children. A lot of this mainstream financial advice does not fit the realities that many women live. I mentioned taking that break from work to have my kids because I went on bed rest at 5 months because my company did not have a maternity policy. I had to take unpaid leave. So I was out of work for about 6 months, not getting an income. And in my state at the time, FMLA only covered 6 weeks. And it was like 40% of my pay or something like that. It was crazy. These are realities that are not often accommodated for when people are giving financial advice to women. So, this is why financial literacy specifically for women is so important. And you want to seek out resources that understand your perspective and where you're coming from. This includes financial advisors, any financial planners you may work with, finding those communities, reading financial books written by women. Yes, we love the books that are written by our male counterparts, but read the books written by women. Very important because it comes from a perspective that you can relate to. And this is not bashing. This is not because resources created by men don't apply, but it's because you want to make sure that you're leveraging resources that relate to your own circumstances. And that is very important in terms of your motivation and what is possible for you based on what you're going through. Number seven, your network is a wealth building tool. When it comes to access to opportunities, job opportunities, business partnerships, salary information, all of these things, a lot of this flows through networks. People are having conversations about these things in their networks. And so it's very important that you build your own network and you don't just try to build wealth and live your life in isolation. And this is something that is very easy for women to do, especially when you're in that child rearing space and you're spending most of your time with your young kids. You want to be intentional about not doing things in isolation, but building your own network. Talk openly with your friends about money. Talk to your friends who are running businesses. Have conversations so that you can be in the know and you can make plans that work for you and your finances, no matter what stage you are with your money. And don't be afraid to ask for help from your network, right? And your network doesn't have to be all professionals. Think about other mothers you can talk to, friends you can talk to, people in the workplace if you are employed in corporate, or other business owners you can talk to about money. You want to maintain a network. So again, like I mentioned, you're not building in isolation and missing out on important information or opportunities that can help you on your journey to building wealth. And then finally, owning your financial journey is one of the most powerful things you can do. And so you want to fully own and embrace this journey to building wealth. Here's what I know to be true after years of building Clever Wealth Finance, after this company engaging with hundreds of thousands of women. When a woman takes ownership of her financial life fully, unapologetically, things happen, change happens, and results happen. And not just for her family, and for her community. When women do well with money, everybody does well as a side effect. And so remember that your financial empowerment has a ripple effect that's going to extend well beyond your bank account. So take up space in conversations. Own this journey to building wealth. Take the necessary actions. This world needs more women who are financially powerful and also financially free. And so, when it comes to building wealth as a woman, it's important that you're doing it with full awareness of the landscape of today's world. And then build that determination to thrive in that landscape and create your own seat at whatever table you believe you deserve to be at. It's all about being informed and leveraging that information as an advantage on your journey to building wealth. So share in the comments which one of these points I made hits home for you. What are your thoughts? And then share this video with a woman who is also on her wealth building journey to inspire and motivate her. Thank you for being here, and I will talk to you in the next video.